Welcome to this video on the Zenwar channel. My name is Sri Sadguru Buddha Bhagwan, and I'm your Sadguru. Today we're going to talk about the Mahavidya. Okay, so what are the Mahavidya? The Mahavidya are the great views. Okay, Mahavidya, the great views, the great experiences, the great stories that can be experienced, the stories of the goddess, the different forms of the goddess, the different domains of the goddess. Okay, and the domains and story that can be experienced. Okay, so the Mahavidya, we know the goddesses, right? The tantric goddesses, they're very fierce, right? So these experiences are very fierce experiences. They're also experiences, if you enter into the domain, they're also domains that seek to retain you into that domain, okay? Or even to potentially eliminate you from that domain in which you are, stop that intrusion in their domain. Okay, so in high forms of yoga, okay, at more advanced levels of yoga, you can learn to travel to different stories, and you can search to travel and to the stories of the Mahavidyas, okay, and that's why these are called the great views, okay, and basically in the past, rishis went in the past and experienced these views, okay, these experiences of the goddess, these truths of the goddess, okay, and basically put them into murti form, brought back the murti, the forms that are worshipped today. Okay, so the Mahavidyas are the great views that you can have, okay, and with them come the wisdom of that view, of that experience. And you can enter the domain and have different experiences of that view, different levels of experience and understanding of the treasures and obtaining the treasures, the attainment of that domain. So you can finalize all the views of the domain, okay, of the dwelling of the goddess, okay, of a specific one. So there are 10 Mahavidyas, okay, 10 great views that you can have, and technically there are 9 and one comes to you, okay. So the one that comes to you is Kali, okay. So there are technically 9 that you experience, but 10 technically in total, okay, the views, the Mahavidyas. So yes, so that's why they're called the great views, okay? And now you have some of the Mahavidyas that are called Tripura, okay? Tripura Sundari, Tripura Bhairavi, and what does Tripura mean, okay? What is Tripura? Tripura is a triple. Tri, it means 3, okay? And pure means pure, okay? So what is it? 3 pure views, 3 great experiences, 3 pure experiences, okay, of the realm of the goddess. Okay, so there's some realms of the goddess that come in one experience, okay, one realm, and then there are some that come in 3 experiences. So when you visualize it, when you go through the experience, when you visit the story, when you go through the story, you have 3 experiences, 3 views. So that's why it's called Tripura Bhairavi, okay, because you get 3 great views, 3 pure experiences, pure views, right? When you get the pure Darshan, okay, in body, Darshan of that experience, of that view, okay? And the first one is in body, okay? The first experience is in body. The first view, for example, of Tripura Bhairavi, the first view is in body, okay? So you actually have a body in that view, in that first experience. The second view is outside of body, okay? So you're seeing it out of body. And the third view is out of body as well. Okay, so the three views, the Tripura Bhairavi is actually 3 views. Okay, and that's why it's called Tripura Bhairavi, 3 views that can be experienced, and you can go to different levels of those views, right? So potentially, if you can travel that story, potentially you don't get past the first view. And then there's the second, and then there's the third, right? So in the case of Tripura Bhairavi, okay, you have the different views. The first view is the view of dissolution, right? Really that dissolution phase, right? That butcher that you experience, right? At that level in that first view. The second view is the moving, the transport, right? The processes of transformation of life. So basically that process of preservation of life, right? All the processes that preserve the process, right, of life transforming itself, which is in constant transformation, right? So life is in constant dissolution, transformation, and then creation as well. So basically that third view gets to where all the different streams, right, all the different conveyor belts, if you will, carrying life, okay, to that third phase, which is the door of creation. Okay, the door of creation at that point, the door of life, right? So the conveyor belts bring the dissolved life, right? All life has been dissolved to that conveyor belt, and as it passes, then it enters into the door of life and is given life again, right? And that's the cycle of life, right? And as energy is not, things are not, energy is not destroyed, it's basically converted, right? And moves around, right? And it's basically the process of dissolution of that energy, and it basically also transformation of that energy back into life, right? So that's the experience of Tripura Bhairavi. So the three experiences that you can have. Okay, so I'm going to take this opportunity right now, and we're going to look at the different experiences of Tripura Bhairavi. Okay, and you're going to get to see Darshan of those experiences through art. Okay, through an expression through art. So I made 3 drawings, okay, of Tripura Bhairavi, and the 3 experiences, the great views, the 3 views of Tripura Bhairavi. Okay, so let's go do this together. I'm going to get up, and we're gonna move around in my place here, and I'm going to show you these views. Okay, so first we're going to start with the first view. Okay, so this is the first view right here. As you can see, the dissolution, the butcher. You appear in the view here, and you have this huge butcher in front of you that's butchering, dismembering beings on this table. And then behind you have a conveyor belt on which these beings are put into boxes, right? Transportation devices, containers, right? Everything moves in containers, right? Since they're no longer in that container, they have to be put in another container. And they're put in the conveyor belt, and that's the dissolution, the giant butcher. The first view of Tripura Bhairavi. Life is dissolved and put on the conveyor belt on a way to transform back to life. Now we're going to go take a look at the second one. This is the second view of Darshan, of the realm of Tripura Bhairavi. This is the second one right here. Okay? So this one here, you see all the dismembered members, all the different pieces of life, right, going on this conveyor belt through the space, and getting to that door over here, right up here, all the way to the door, and entering the door. Okay, and that's the first door. That's the door that brings to the third view of Tripura Bhairavi, which brings you to where all the different conveyor belts of creation all converge. I'll show you this right now. And this is the third view. So all the conveyor belts all converge here, and life enters into the door of life, and the door is coded so that only that which is allowed to pass may pass. By going through the door, that which has been dissolved is given life again. This is the third view of this Mahavidya, great wisdom and experience of the domain of the goddess and its functions, Tripura Bhairavi, dissolution, creation, and preservation. And knowledge of the code of life and authority over it are the great treasures of this view. So as you can see, some different drawings here, which give you the darshan, the experience of Tripura Bhairavi. Okay? And you may ask, why do I share these experiences? Because I don't want to take away from the marvel, right, of people, but I want to allow these drawings, as these 3 drawings I just showed you, can be meditated upon. Okay? These are drawings that are connected to Tripura Bhairavi, to the goddess. They're drawings of the different views, right? The Tripura Bhairavi, right? The 3 views of that great view of wisdom. And the reason I share these things, for many reasons, but one of the reasons is because there are dangers to going to explore these things on your own, first of all. And if you ever do end up exploring the stories and end up in a situation where you're in trouble, call out for the Sadguru. But there's some places, even I will be pissed off to have to go save you. So you can call out to Sadguru Rawa at any time if you find yourself in trouble in these experiences. Better to ask for help than not to ask for help, right? And why do I share these experiences? Because these experiences are very difficult experiences to experience. They're very difficult to have the experience of, and they're very difficult to get out of, okay? Because the domains seek to retain, okay? And to kick you out of that domain, essentially, okay? By basically destroying you if that's necessary. And some of those domains do take that approach, all right? The domains of the Mahavidyas. So they are the great experiences, and one of the great accomplishments of yoga is getting darshan, or the treasures, the final treasures of all the Mahavidyas. And no one gets the final treasure of Dhumavati, beyond the mountain, okay? Except if you're really at that level. So, the Mahavidya experiences. So I hope this experience of this video has been interesting for you, right? And the reason I share these different three views of the Mahavidya in this video of Tripura Bhairavi is so that Tripura Bhairavi can be known more, right, as a goddess, right? And I do encourage people who seek to worship the goddess Tripura Bhairavi, okay? Because there's worship of the goddess as well, okay? And then there's experience of everything that the goddess will let you experience if you worship her. And then there's also visiting her domain, but remember that when you visit the domain, you're not necessarily welcome in the domain. So you have to take precautions. It's good to visit as a party, right, with people who are at that level with you, and basically be careful. And the reason I share this information is for the sake of your knowledge, you know, for the sake of your education in these things, okay? And also so that you can meditate on these drawings that I've shared in this video, right? And meditate on the different views of the Mahavidya, and hopefully seek knowledge and gain knowledge and experience and wisdom from that view. And it's a safer way to do that through that drawing than to do it by visiting the domain, right? So in the spirit of keeping people out of trouble, right, I share this knowledge with you. Thanks for listening to this video on the Zen Warrior channel.